Sometimes all you need is love and like 500 logs. Lakeburg Legacies is a management sim with messy relationships at its heart. Set up buildings, fill them with villagers, watch as the town expands. The initial mechanics are, at their core, simple and should be familiar to most players of management sims. Things start to feel a little different as more villagers come into town, though. Not only do they all come with character sheets full of aspirations and skills, which affect their morale and performance at certain jobs, they also have a set of clear likes and dislikes that can easily change the course of their relationships. And like most management sims, Lakeburg Legacies hate single people. So in addition to building up the town, finding everyone their perfect match is equally important. Once the matchmaking game begins, you'll have a long list of eligible suitors to sort through, and it's truly up to you if you want to help set up the greatest love connections ever, or pair people up based on what they can bring into the town. This is a management sim. Regardless of your moral leanings, the villagers will get into all kinds of affairs, rivalries, and friendships. So my advice, stoke the fire. That's what we're here for. This whole interpersonal system is Lakeburg Legacy's strongest point, and perhaps its most convoluted. Even for a management sim, this game is full of menus, and a good portion of them relate to keeping track of villagers, and the many relationships they'll develop. There's also menus for villager stats, menus for buildings, their upgrades, town morale, resource production. I could go on, but you get what I mean, right? It feels like a lot, even for a management sim. Don't get me wrong though, Lakeburg Legacies does a decent job managing everything it throws at players, and I found the tutorial to be genuinely helpful, although I don't believe it's accessible once you start the game, which is something to look out for. Despite the slight learning curve, there are a few difficulty options to play with, making it a bit easier to manage characters' lives with town production. So don't worry if your first run is a little confusing and frustrating. I definitely had to kill a few villagers before I kind of found my groove. I haven't talked much about the actual town management of the sim beyond complaining about menus, but that's only because it's your usual fare of waiting for resources to stock up so you can build more buildings, hire more people, and produce more. Truly, everything revolves around the characters. I don't think it's even possible to have a successful run where you focus more on town upgrades than managing relationships. They're too intertwined. For example, upgrading your farm to produce more wheat and etc. involves more than just finding the one character that has that as a skill. It's also about aspirations, which affect morale, which affect production. It isn't as simple as you'd expect. Overall, Lakeburg Legacies is a gorgeous game with a cute art style that does a lot. It's more character-driven than other management sims, but that's kind of the appeal, right? You get to guide people through their lives instead of controlling a faceless mass. With an aesthetic that can easily endear itself to cottagecore lovers and a surprisingly lovely medieval soundtrack, Lakeburg Legacies is a fun, inclusive sim with all the love and drama you'll ever need.